where I will be meeting with midstream, upstream, and downstream energy companies. We're continuing to work aggressively to make sure that we can develop the Marcellus and the Utica shale. This is so important for our state. It is important from an environmental point of view that we do this appropriately. It is appropriate from a workforce training point of view and education system. And it, of course, can lead to a resurgence of the eastern part of our state and, frankly, our whole state. Jury's still out in my mind. There's 100 wells that need to be drilled. We've drilled about 11. We got a long way to go, but all indications, and people vote with their money, and the energy companies are voting heavy that the Utica shale contained in the state of Ohio is going to produce really significant and exciting results. But I caution people, as I cautioned the plain dealer just the other day, let us not get ahead of ourselves, but let's be on the move here to make sure that we lay everything down so that we in fact can have a good outcome and learn from the mistakes in other states. And I'll be clear with you. I just read the other day article in the New York Times Magazine, and I've asked David Mustine, I want a response to everything in that magazine. I want to know about the environmental risks. I want to deal with it. And I don't want to end up being New York where we shut down the industry and therefore we shut down the hopes of families and, of course, their children. And in case you haven't noticed, that the touchstone for me and the litmus test for me is, does this help families and does this help children? Everything we do, maybe not the license plates, but everything else we do, from reducing taxes and balancing budgets and doing education reform, and it's all designed to do one thing, to lift Ohio families, to help people get jobs. And you know what, I'm very pleased. From the macro sense, Ohio is net positive 40,000 jobs since last January. That's the macro picture. I again take all responsibility for that because, you know, who knows, it can dip next month. But the good news is 40,000, you know, somewhere in that vicinity of net jobs to the positive in Ohio. And with our 191 projects that we have directly been involved with, it's now almost 44,000 jobs saved or jobs created. In that last week, we were involved in the creation of nearly 2,000 jobs, everything from the auto industry to the steel industry to the technology industry, or the movement of products down and integrated. Lots of good things going on, but we have a very, very, very long way to go. But there's some good news, and people ought to know about it. Okay, any questions?